Hello, I'm Maria. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Ontario, Canada. And today's video is on this fun fold card made with the Eden's Garden stamp set and the Eden's Garden designer paper. So let's get going. It's a fun fold card that stands up by itself. So it's perfect for to put on the mantle, bedside table, or just for display in the house because it's not going to get knocked over. So let's get going making the card. Now you're going to need a card base. We'll just move this aside for a second. And the card base is thick white, basic white cardstock, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to need to do some scoring. So I'll bring in my scoreboard, which is, yes, it's a little bit big, but hey, it's a necessity. Okay, now these are the scores. I've already done the scoring, so I'll do it again with you. So it is scored at 1 3/4, at 3. I'll put this up after. At 5.5, can't see for the glare here. Here we go, 5.5, and 6 3/4. There we go. So 1 3/4, 3, 5.5, and 6 3/4. And once you've got that done, then you're going to fold it, and let's just move the board. And you fold this one back, this one forward, this one back, and this one forward. And there you have your card. Now, if you happen to fold it the other way around, just turn your card over. No big deal. And if you burnish your fold, if I can find my bone folder, which I know I brought, I don't see. Okay, we'll just fold it really, really well. I'm sure I'll find the bone folder shortly. Now, the paper that's needed, we're also going to use these lovely Eden Garden gems. Now, here's the supplies. Now, this is going to be for the middle piece where we're going to stamp the image. Basic white piece to stamp the image on. Now, this was die cut with the Scallop contour die. Then the panels along the side, here, here, and here. You'll need 2 of these, which are 1.5 by 5 1/4. So 2 of these. And then the designer paper is 1 1/4 by 5, and you'll need 2 of those. Any of the designer paper. And then for this center, you need 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And designer paper, you just turn it over, and it's 2 by 5. It fits in there. Okay, so we have all the pieces. We have a sentiment piece as well that we'll stamp on. All right, let's put this together, and I'll do the stamping after. And we'll need the silicone sheet, and I'm going to use Tombow glue. And we'll see if, there we go, get it going. Now, it was very cold this morning, -0.5 degrees centigrade. Freezing temperature. Yesterday, we actually had snow pellets. I know. What can I say? It's getting to be winter. And oh, it is so dark outside when you get up in the morning. I was up at 5:30. It's pretty dark by then. I want to make sure I'm getting this the right way. But the clocks go back this weekend, which means that when I get up in the morning, it's going to be darker still. But maybe a little bit lighter in the evening, not that much. But I think probably this is the last year that the clocks are going back. At least there's talk of that. That'll be good. Because it's really hard on everyone's constitution when the clock, when you lose that 1 hour, makes a big difference. Okay, we've got those glued. Now let's put them on our card. Just move that up so I don't get any glue in that. See how well that stands up? Okay, just put these panels on the side. And you don't need much Tombow glue, just a little bit. And it's nice to have Tombow glue because it just gives you that little bit of room to move things around if you don't have it straight. Now this designer paper that I'm using for this card is different than the one that I've used for the sample card, but you probably noticed that already. Now I'm not putting any cardstock or designer paper on these small panels right here. Okay, so that is the card and the designer paper. Now let's do some stamping. We're going to stamp on here and here. Okay, well maybe I'll put it on here so that you can see it a little better. Normally I don't stamp on the silicone sheet, and I hope that's going to be okay. Now I'm also going to have with the stamping a Post-it note. You say, what's that for? You'll see in a minute. Okay, this is the image stamp. It's a distinctive stamp, which means you're going to get variations in color, and you don't need to color it. This is what it looks like when it's stamped. I'm using soft Succulent ink. And we'll ink it up. And you don't want to get too much ink on the stamp, but you want to get enough that you're going to get good coverage on your image. And I'll stamp it towards one side. And there, that's what it's supposed to look like. Now, then I'm going to do these little branches, if you call them that. Okay, here it is. And here's where the Post-it note comes in. What I want to do is have the stem come out here, make it look like it's coming out here. And so I want to cover up the plant right here. Let's see if it works. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So my stem is going to go between here and then onto the Post-it note. There we go. Yep, I got a little bit of halo here. Just clean that off a little bit. And we'll do the same thing down here. Okay, I'm just a little off this morning, but I think you get the idea. This one here, when I did this, see how I got it right onto the top of the leaf? I wanted it behind. This one was perfect. So, needs a little bit of practice, but you get the idea. Okay, so that is that. And I want to stamp the sentiment, which is hello there, on here. But before we do that, this sentiment piece can be quite long. And if you put it on here, well, we can do it just like this. Sometimes you need to cut this shorter, and you can either cut it here and take a little piece out and rejoin it, or just cut one end off and notch it. I'm not going to do anything to this one. So we'll do hello there. Well, I guess I'm a little bit off kilter this morning. It's early. I brought an extra one just in case. Oh, there we go. Thank goodness for magic paper, huh? 2 sides. Okay, while we're at it, why don't we stamp on the envelope? And I'm going to stamp on the flap. And we'll use this, and that's all I'm going to do. All right, let's add the pieces together here and add it to the card. I hope you get a chance to watch the video I did on Monday, which is an overview of all the products for the Garden Eden. If you haven't, I'll put the link below. Now I want to lay this here and in the center. So 1, 2, 3 scallops, 1, 2, 3 scallops. 1, 2, 3. And put 1, 2, 3. And we'll add it right about there. And I want to make sure that it adheres well. There we go. And this one right underneath it. Make sure I get the right side. And right there. Now for some embellishments. I'm going to use these lovely garden gems. Now these are cherry cobbler, the small round and the larger round. And then there's the marquee. I'm not sure what color those are. They're almost like an iridescent soft succulent. We'll call them that. Get my pick tool with the putty end. Pick this up, and I'll put one here and one over here. And one there. There we go. So there we have the card. This is the card we made. This is the sample card. And you know you have your card scored and folded properly. If you look at the back, see how these ends meet perfectly. I did another card before. This was my learning card, and I hadn't scored it properly, and see how it overlaps at the back. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. Okay, this is the card we did. This is the sample card made with the Eden's Garden stamp set and the Eden's Garden designer paper. So here we go, the envelope. So thank you very, very much for watching. All of these supplies can be purchased through my online store, which will be in the description below. Again, the dimensions and everything will also be on my blog later today. Thanks very much for watching.